Hey, what's going on, all my otakus out there? It's Venomousfatman. How y'all doing? Right now, it's time for another Only the Epic Truth video log. This time, I'm reviewing Batman Arkham City. As you guys can tell, I got my Batman shirt on right now. So, sequel to Arkham Asylum, which was an awesome game in itself. It was at that time hailed as the best superhero game ever created thus far. This one takes the whole series, or pretty much, the entire idea of a superhero game to the next level. Really, it's over 9,000 people with this game. This game is awesome. I love Arkham City. I had such a great time playing it. There's so much content in this game, so much good story in this game, great gameplay, a whole bunch of cool little hidden surprises all over the place. What is there not to love about this game? So, let's get right into it. Story-wise, this is an awesome game for Batman. This is, again, probably the best superhero game to date created for any kind of comic book character or just superhero character in general, because this is almost like a love letter to Batman, or pretty much, Batman's universe or all that, because has almost all his rogues gallery in the entire game, has all these little kind of like neat little tidbits of information and Easter eggs and little nods to from the different Batman comics in the Batman universe, pretty much scattered throughout the entire game. They even, in 1 second, check this out, this is really cool. If you've played the game, there's a section where you could actually go to in some spot in Arkham City where, it's where Batman's parents were actually killed. So you could actually pay tribute to Batman's parents, and you actually get an achievement for doing that. But while you're doing it, all he does is kind of just like kneel down and just like look at the ground or whatnot, like he's praying or whatever. But the whole atmosphere is just so ominous, and it's set so right. The music sets the tone of everything. The camera moves around slowly, and there's this one light peering from the top as he's paying tribute to his parents. It gives it such a nice setup. It's completely awesome, and it's what exactly you would expect for a Batman game. Batman game is dark, a Batman game is gritty, there's some detective elements and some mystery and suspense that goes along with it. This is the game for Batman. If you're a Batman fan, you have to pick up this game. And even if you're not a comic book fan or a Batman fan, this is a game that you obviously have to play, because it is just so well, handled and so well created and developed. It's just hands down awesome. Personally, for me, this is my game of the year. Everybody else has their own opinion and whatnot, and there's still games that are coming out, but this is the game. As far as story is concerned, this is the game, hands down, this year that you have to play. Moving on from there, gameplay. Very similar to Arkham Asylum, with a couple of noticeable changes. Obviously, the upgrade system, when you're fighting enemies and whatnot, you get different gadgets, different abilities, different moves and such like that, which is pretty cool. But also, keep in mind, Arkham Asylum felt a little bit enclosed last time, especially when I played it. I know a lot of people said the same thing, but this one is a little bit much more of an open world. And that's personally how, at least to me, how a Batman game should feel. It's very similar, if I had a way to describe it, open world in the sense where it feels kind of similar to like Spider-Man, almost Spider-Man 2 or not Spider-Man 3. Any of the open world Spider-Man games, very similar to that, but it feels a lot more weighed down, a little more grounded to reality because of how Batman interacts with his worlds. It's very cool because, you watch the series or you read the comics and stuff, you never really understood or kind of got an idea of how Batman kind of like, went from rooftop to rooftop. In this game, it actually handles it very well. It would be like, what, I could see it being like that because, you got the grapple hook, you could glide from building to building, jump off like different ledges and stuff. It works really well. And I never once, when I was actually playing the game, felt like I was claustrophobic or I was enclosed, because even though this is a borough of Arkham City, not Arkham City, but a borough of Gotham City, which is called Arkham City, it never felt like it was so enclosed. There's so much areas to explore, so much baddies to beat down, so much content to uncover. It's really, really cool. The boss fights are awesome. Each boss fight felt different to me. Each boss fight, it felt like you had to approach it in some type of different way. Obviously, you had to beat up some enemies. You have to take on the boss straight up in front. Or maybe you had to figure out an interesting puzzle, especially with the whole Riddler stuff. But it was really cool. Each time I was on the edge of my seat looking at this and be like, damn, this game is just freaking awesome. I want to continue playing more. Now, besides that, as far as content's concerned, this game has so much content, so much goodies to discover, so much trophies and achievements that give you so much more than just simply getting gamer points out of it. For example, there's a bunch of cameos of some Batman villains that you don't necessarily fight, but they make some really cool appearances and kind of give like a nod or a hint to like another game or some other stuff that's going on within Batman's universe. The coolest one, in my opinion, was either Hush or Azazel. or Azazel, I think I pronounced it Azrael, or something like that. The guy who ended up taking Batman's place when he broke his back. You guys get the idea. Really, really, really cool. Now, as far as Azrael, they're all part of like these little kind of like side missions or whatnot that when you're going through and you never really understand or get or, at first glance know exactly who it is. It's very, very, mysterious like that. But once you find them and finally complete all the different tasks or whatnot, and, with the Riddler, Azrael, or Hush and stuff like that, it's really satisfying just to get out of it. It would have been awesome to be able to fight against them, or at least, to get through some type of like crazy boss battle or a little more of a conclusion to them. But it's such a good teaser and such a good setup for another game. I did not mind. I thought it was awesome. Now, again, besides the main game, with all the Riddler trophies and stuff like that, you also have all the challenge maps, which are pretty much different for each one. You have to beat up a bunch of bad guys. You have to take out a bunch of guys, stealthily and things like that. There's even some for different characters that you could actually play with in the challenge maps. Not necessarily just Batman. You could play as Catwoman. You could play, if you got the DLC, depending on where you got it from, you could play as Robin, which is pretty, and also pretty soon is also Nightwing, which is supposed to be coming out at some point. Which brings up another good point. The DLC for this game is pretty damn cool because you have all these outfits for Batman from like a different set universe or a different set, comic series or whatnot for Batman. You have the Dark Knight Returns outfit from the Frank Miller graphic novels. You have the Batman Beyond outfit, the Batman the Animated Series outfit, which I thought was really cool. Even an Earth 2 Batman, which not a lot of people know about if you don't read the comics and stuff, you're not really into the whole Batman lore or the Justice League lore, but it's pretty cool to be like that. However, one little gripe that I have with this, which, is probably like could say like a big gripe for a lot of people, was that none of the movie outfits were included in like the DLC or whatnot. It would be cool, like down the line, they actually make a separate DLC, besides packaging up all these other, costumes, but making like a movie outfit DLC. It could probably be a little bit fuzzy with all the rights and stuff, but I would love to see like a Michael Keaton Batman outfit. I think that would be awesome. I think it'd be crazy, and I would definitely buy something like that. Moving on, though. Again, a lot of content with the challenge maps and stuff. Every time you find a Riddler trophy or you solve like a couple Riddler puzzles or whatnot, you unlock a different challenge map that you could play, as Batman or with other characters and stuff. And it leads on to other cooler things. So, overall, this game is amazing. If you have not played Batman Arkham City yet, you need to stop what you're doing after seeing this video, go to the store or rent it, pick it up, and play this game. Because also, keep in mind, without spoiling too much of this, the ending to this game is by far the best ending to a game that I've seen this year. It's one of the main reasons why I picked this game as Game of the Year, at least for me personally, because it's just so satisfying. It's just such a good conclusion. It's like, damn, man, this was just awesome in its own right, but I want so much more right now. It was that good of an ending, guys. So, honestly, a couple extra thoughts I want to say. This game was so good in scope as far as like being a little bit much more open world. It was so great in the way that Rocksteady had handled this game. The only possible way they could get any more better than this or kind of up the bar even further in another game is if instead of just being a borough of Gotham City, why not have us in all of Gotham City and make that the definitive Batman game where you're going from the Batcave in Wayne Manor, you drive out with the Batmobile, you come out, with something like the Batpod or whatnot, and go to the different areas of Gotham City, fighting all the different rogues gallery. Rogues that Batman has in his rogues gallery, his villains and stuff. That would be awesome. I would love for them to actually step their game up and actually put it onto that level. But so far as Arkham City is concerned, they got it down pat. Rocksteady knows exactly what they're doing. It'd also be interesting to note that if they handled a character like Batman like this in such a way and so intricate and awesome and like a love letter type of thing, in the way that they handled that character, it'd be interesting to see what Rocksteady could do with other DC characters. Like, imagine, people have always been saying they want a good Superman game. Now, even though we're not talking about Superman, this is just for example. There's been so many bad Superman games all over the place, just on the simple fact that they haven't handled the character and his mythology and his universe as good as these guys have done with Batman. It would be cool to have them give them to like the license to actually do a character like Superman, or even a character like a second tier DC character like Jonah Hex, or any other one of those lower, lesser known DC characters, and give it to Rocksteady and have them make an awesome game out of it. That would be cool because these guys are just so good at what they do. But anyway, that's just my thoughts, guys. Leave your comments and video responses. I don't mind. Just keep it civil. Let me know what you guys think of Batman Arkham City. If you love it, you hate it, you think it's crazy, you think it's awesome, Game of the Year material or not. put it in the comment section below, and I will talk to you guys again soon. So, Batman Arkham City, you guys have to play it. It's that good of a game. Stay epic, everybody. I'm Venomousfatman, and this has been only the epic truth. Talk to y'all later, people. Peace!